Hey, video 3. Oh my gosh, everything's just pouring out of me. I can't make enough videos, I don't think, anymore. This is really working to get me moving. Wow. So today I want to explore and share two things, maybe three. So the first is the biggest mistake we make when we're triggered. And then the second is a little bit of help on how to create that interruption so we can harness the moment between stimulus and reaction. So in reflecting, after doing these videos, and I realize I have so much information. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. So the biggest mistake we make, and I've made it many times in the past, I've mastered it so it doesn't happen like that anymore for the triggers that I already know. That's the thing. The triggers that we know, they take layers, they take time, they take multiple experiences of integration until we can activate and utilize what we know in the moment of the trigger. Because that's the only place we can change it. We can't change it from reflecting outside of the trigger. We can only change it when we're in the hot lava of it and the eruption of it. And when we choose to find that place in it, that is when transformation happens, not outside of it. My life has been a journey of mastering that, because I used to have lots of volcanic eruptions, oh my gosh. And also deep subterranean dives into like the pits of despair. So I've been at both extremes, and my life has taught me so much. And so this is the biggest mistake. When we get triggered, because our limbic system gets activated, like I shared yesterday, and because if we haven't learned how to come into our frontal cortex in a trigger moment, so instead we're growing our limbic system and we're hardwiring ourselves to keep reacting. Because of that, the biggest mistake we make is we seek to find 1,000,001 reasons why we're justified, and why that person this, and why that person that, and they should this, and they should that, and they don't know me, how can they not know me, da 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 da. And then we have all of these stories that we write in defense of why we're justified to have our trigger. Now, sure, granted, there'll be some justification. But the problem is, we focus only on that. And because we only focus on that, it's next to impossible to find resolution, let alone evolution. Right? The resolution is what helps bring the evolution. Instead, when we're wanting to embark on this journey to master our triggers, we need to have a different true north. We need to have a different choice in our compass, in our inner compass, of where we want to go. We have to choose it rather than being driven by the reaction. We need to choose where are we going to direct this trigger reaction when it does come up. We need to choose to want to understand it. We need to want to choose to say, okay, identify, I am in a trigger. And because I'm in a trigger, I am completely cognitively impaired to see truth. Because the problem is, we keep justifying our trigger and our reaction because we believe it's true. We believe the reaction, the interpretations are true, which they're not. They're never true when we're in a reactive state. Whether it's me reacting to something somebody did, or me reacting to a situation I witnessed, or me reacting to my own inner dialogue and my own belief systems. When I am in an impaired state, it's not going to happen. There's no resolution. Then I'll just keep looping, and I'll keep justifying and justifying. And I can say, a family member, 50 years later, she was still harboring on something that happened in her 20s. And I don't mean that in a dismissive way. I mean that to illustrate how hard it is to break out of the defending mode if we don't intentionally choose to. It consumes us so much. And I would witness her pain repeated again and again and again, and how she would anchor that in even stronger. And it was painful to watch. And I would do my best to try to offer some support. But of course, the thing is when we're so locked in defense, it's like an armor-clad, wall. There's not even a crack to get inside. There's not even a possibility to become vulnerable. And vulnerability is where transformation happens. Vulnerability is where we get to know ourselves. Vulnerability is actually our superpower. But we misunderstand that too. I'll go into that more in another video. So what happens when we are committed to just defend why we're justified and why when they did this, or justified in my own self-beliefs, oh, because I did that, I'm a loser, or I'm not enough, or whatever, right? So when we keep defending these beliefs and these stories and the resentment, right? So we're brewing resentment. We're not doing anything to help it. We're like, we're putting wood on the fire, so that resentment builds stronger, and then we're justified and we get this false sense of power. Because really that's what we're seeking. We're seeking our power. But that is the most destructive way to seek power, because it's not true power and it's never enough, right? That kind of power, we need to keep fueling it with more reasons and more upsetness, and find, our reticular activating system will keep digging up more things to justify why we believe what we believe and why our trigger is true. And unless we understand that, we are stuck for life, as this family member was, and it was tragic. So that's why it's so important to master our triggers, because if not, they become our master. And the more that they become our master, the more that we get locked in resentment and in the validation of our trigger, the more we lose our own soul. We lose our light, that divine light within us. It gets buried over. It doesn't get lost, really. It just gets buried over. It gets layered and layered. And the deeper the layers, the harder it is to break through. And then that's why sometimes life will, throw us a curveball that cracks it open. It's trauma. Trauma has a purpose. Again, contrast has a purpose. And until we really understand that, we can't move through life and with life in a way that we can be in continuous evolution and growth. It doesn't mean we don't break down. It doesn't mean, a brand new trigger, if I haven't met something, it will floor me. It will still floor me. But only for maybe 5-10 minutes. And then I'm already rerouting my way out, right? Whereas, a new trigger many years ago might keep me floored for like a month, a year. One thing was like years, right? So understanding that it's not just about saying, okay, I'm not going to be triggered anymore. It's like, okay, when I'm triggered, how am I going to take care of myself? And what are the most constructive and effective ways of focus and thinking that will help me to navigate this so I don't lose myself and I don't lose connection to my life and my light and my heart. And that's how we can actually grow and move through a trigger in a good way. But if we keep defending, that's the number one mistake. We keep defending, we're basically building our own grave energetically. We lose ourselves. So that's the biggest mistake. So now how to interrupt that before that happens? First, of course, recognize. Like I said in the other video, notice what are your triggers, what kicks you out of your true state of you, what brings you into anger, aggression, despair, sadness, all of these, irritation, frustration. Really, really look to see what are they. And the moment that you do that, okay, you're already more equipped even when a new trigger comes up. It won't be able to take you as hard as it would have in the past, right? And the key is breath. The breath has an instantaneous impact on our nervous system. Instantaneous. So the moment we notice I'm clenching, I'm tightening, my mind is moving like 1,000,001 miles an hour and defending and accusing in my mind and all of that stuff. The moment I remind myself I'm in a trigger, I'm cognitively impaired. When I'm cognitively impaired, I do not see anything that's true. All I'm seeing is my pain. Bang, I'm seeing my pain. And in that moment, I reroute my focus back to me. And I look at what pain is this mirroring in me? What belief system is this mirroring in me? So I make it about me. Yes, the other person activated and did stuff or the situation, but regardless, it's about me and my relationship to myself and my relationship to life. That is more important than my relationship to, being upset with somebody because of what they did. Because when people, when we're unconscious, we do things. I've hurt people unconsciously. I know I have. And even way back when, when I was a teen, it was like, I'll get you, right? So every now and then we have that, and we got to see and be honest with ourselves. We are animal nature and we're higher nature. We have two operating systems that are governing us simultaneously. Our lower nature of reactivity, of survival, our higher nature of our frontal cortex and our soul. So we're all messing up. We're all saying the wrong things at different times. We're all doing the wrong thing at times. And we just got to be humble and acknowledge that. Not, be all high and mighty on a pedestal. So of thinking we're perfect, which we're not, and we know we're not, but in those moments, that little inner narcissist in us, doesn't want to allow anything else to be true than what's true in that moment for our trigger. And again, that is evidence that we are cognitively impaired. So, recognition, breath, and then redirection. Once we're breathing, we're getting our system, our parasympathetic system back online. The sympathetic nervous system is like, oh, okay, false alarm. And then we stop secreting the adrenaline and cortisol to the degree that we would be. We start to regulate. I'm a HeartMath coach. I've trained with the HeartMath Institute as well, and traditional Hawaiian healing. And their teachings, they intertwine so well. So the breath is in for 5. Through the nose. I've got a bit of a stuffy nose from allergies, so don't copy me breathing in through the mouth. Breathe through your nose. So in through the nose for 5. And then out for 5. And then bring your attention to your heart center. Bring your attention to the remembrance of you and the remembrance of love in your heart. So that you're giving a different attention other than defending and gathering all the evidence of why you're justified. And again, there's going to be some justification, but we blow it up. Biologically, a natural lifespan of an emotion is only 90 seconds. Any emotion, that's the natural biological lifespan. When it lasts longer, it's because we're feeding it and we're brooding it and we're growing it. So for me, that was a game changer when I understood that. So when you take the time to breathe and you do this and you exhale though with a ha. So that's not in the HeartMath as I taught it. That's a part of the lonely ha breath. So when you do a ha, like you do at the end of a long day of work and you get home and you're like, I can finally rest. So you're wanting to invoke that breath in your body, that memory, that mechanism of surrender. And you do that however long it takes until you can feel your body is softening and your mind is expanding, your thoughts are opening beyond the defense. And when you can start doing that, and even if, for a third of a second of every second, our brain is open to a new command. There was another piece when I learned that, it blew my mind. So when I learned that, I said, well, I'm going to harness every freaking third of a second I can to rewire my biology. And I did, and I've succeeded. The triggers that used to take me down, it's like, and now even if a new trigger does come up, because it does happen, because as we're growing, we're still evolving. We're getting deeper and deeper into our core. But when they come up, they don't hold me down as long. I just go in there, and then I go in there intentionally too, to feel what I need to feel and to excavate what is there so that I can bring it into the light of day. I can heal it and I can recover. I can redirect and I can understand myself more. And the more I understand myself, the more naturally I begin to understand others in life, because it's all a reflection. It's a fractal reflection. The universe is all fractals. We're all one, and we're all reflecting each other in different ways. And when we really embrace that, not as a deflection, not as a bypassing, but as an embracing to go deeper, to see and learn, then everything changes. And I'm really passionate about helping people find that power to make that shift Because once you do, once you've done it once, you won't go back. It's like eating the best ice cream on the planet. It's like you get a taste of what it feels like to be in your power. You're like, I ain't going back there no more, right? So I invite you. Okay, I've got a lot longer than I thought. I invite you to explore that, to make the list, create your points that you're going to acknowledge, breathe, redirect your focus to your heart, to remembrance of love. Breathe, so that then you can open yourself up to receive the inner guidance that your soul has for you. It's there, but when we're in reactivity, we are totally incapable of being able to receive it. So we have a responsibility not only to life, but to our own self, to learn how to master our triggers so that we can take care of ourselves and live the best life we can live in this precious, amazing universe that we get this opportunity to be in. So that's it for now. I hope that helps a little bit more too. And I'm getting so excited. I think I'm going to do like 100 videos a day after this. Okay, I'm going to give you again, as in the other videos, a beautiful little view just to take a few deep breaths with. We've got a windy day today. And I'm going to sign off for now until the next one. God bless you guys. Thanks. Bye.